Welcome, students, as we review for Chapter 8 on the federal courts and the judicial branch. I hope you enjoyed reading about the federal courts. And just to kind of get us in the mode of review, there are how many systems of courts in the United States? I hope you know that there are two systems, those being the federal system and the state system. And then there are how many tiers to the federal system? I hope you know that there are 3 tiers to the federal system. There are the district courts, the appellate courts, and the Supreme Court. And if you don't know that, you're in trouble. So here we go. The vast majority of cases are dealt with by what court? Supreme Court? No. Appellate courts? No. How about the district courts? No. So if none of the federal courts deal with the vast majority of cases, what is the other system? That's right. State courts deal with the vast majority of cases in the United States. Again, 2 tiers, state and federal court systems, 2 systems, and there are 3 tiers in the federal system. And you want to know all 3 of those tiers. Now, when it comes to making a legal complaint in court, who makes that legal complaint? Is it the defendant or a petitioner? Public defense? No. It's a plaintiff, Mr. Howard. It's a plaintiff that makes the legal complaint. And you want to know that the plaintiff is the one who brings the suit in court proceedings. Now, we've mentioned there are 3 types or 3 tiers in the federal system. There are the district courts, the trial courts, if you will, the district courts. And then if somebody gets a ruling that is against them, they think is unfavorable or unfair, they can appeal that decision. To whom do they appeal? Well, they appeal to the circuit courts, to the Court of Appeals. And that is known as appellate jurisdiction. The district courts have original jurisdiction, and the appeal up is appellate jurisdiction. And as we've mentioned, the district courts serve as the trial courts in the federal system. You need to know how many justices the Supreme Court started out with. That would be, but they now have 9 judges on the Supreme Court, or justices as they are called. 1 is the Chief Justice and 8 associate justices on the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court listens to the majority. The majority of their cases are not original jurisdiction cases. They are appeals cases. And if a judge interprets the Constitution according to the framers' original intent, what they meant when they wrote the Constitution, what a concept, is that judicial activism or is that judicial restraint? What is that term? You can figure it out. Let's see, what else we've got here? What is the term that refers to a previous court's rulings? In other words, a court is following what if they go back and say, well, a previous court ruled this way, and this is the way we're going to rule. You have rightly pointed out, I think most of you in your quizzes, that a federal judge, an Article 3 federal judge, serves for life, but he can be impeached, as Samuel Chase was impeached. He was not convicted, but he was impeached. Well, who holds the power to impeach and convict a federal judge? And as we've said, the Article 1 judges are appointed for a set amount of time. They have a term. Article 3 judges serve for life. Good behavior as long as they don't do anything really stupid. And let's see, good question, how many federal district courts are there? Many of you missed this. I don't know how you missed this, but many of you missed that on the quiz. And so how many federal district courts are there? And how many circuits are there? How many appeal circuits are there? You want to know what is the main job of a federal district court judge? What do they do most of the time? You want to know what is the term that refers to a minor criminal case, or term that refers to a major criminal case. There are two terms. Those miss something and you know. Let's see. What does the U.S. Attorney do? What does the U.S. Marshal do? Now, U.S. Attorney or District Attorney. What is the U.S. Attorney or District Attorney? What is their main job? And let's see. When an argument is appealed, when a case is appealed up its appellate jurisdiction, each side of that case, when it's appealed up to the circuit court or to the Court of Appeals, what does each side provide the judges with? And you don't have to go into a lot of detail. This can be very brief. But they have to provide what to the court? And what is the idea of sovereign immunity? I get confused about that thing. If you could explain that to me, that would be good. And if I am in the military, I'm in the Army, or I'm in the Navy, and I break a rule, do I go to court? What type of court do I go to? Or if I work for the CIA and I want to spy, I need to find out what someone is doing. I need to go to what court to get permission to spy on that foreign national? What court would give me permission to do that, maybe, if I have enough evidence? You want to know that. Right, this kind of shifting gears here. After the Civil War, the Supreme Court tended to view economic regulations as something that who should handle. I want to be up on that. How about the Supreme Court? How do you get to be on the Supreme Court? What are the things that you're nominated? Who are you nominated by? And then you have to be confirmed. And what is that process in confirmation? And what are the requirements? What does the president look for in nominating a person? And then, so there are 4, I think, criteria there. And then, who is going to confirm? Is it going to be Congress? Is it going to be the Senate? Or what are the steps there? You don't just get confirmed immediately. You have to take these steps. What are the steps as well? Who was the Supreme Court Justice in the Marbury versus Madison case? Who was the Supreme Court Justice in, Chief Justice, I should say, in that case, or Chief Justice in the Scott versus Sanford case, in the Dred Scott case? Let's see. The Supreme Court is on kind of a 4-week rotation. They do something for 2 weeks, and then they do something else for 2 weeks. What do they do for each of those 2 weeks? And you need to be able to tell me about that. And then there are all kinds of opinions. Once the Supreme Court reaches a decision, there are concurrent, there are majority, minority, dissenting opinions. You need to be up on those and what is involved in that. And then finally, if you can tell me the difference between judicial activism, judicial restraint, how does originalism fit in that as well? That would be really, really good. And I think if you can answer most of those questions or all of those questions, as well as you have read the chapter and you have taken all the quizzes, I feel pretty good about you're doing well on test on chapter 8 on the judicial branch. Hey, I look forward to seeing you again when we all get over this coronavirus and get back to work. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.